Have you ever met someone who somehow turns every situation, no matter how small, no matter how obvious their role, into a story where they are the victim? They could start a fight and then cry that you were too harsh. They could break your trust and then act like you abandoned them. They could hurt you and then magically rewrite the story until you're the villain. Why do people do this? Why do some people pretend to be victims, even when it's painfully clear they're the ones causing the damage? Today, we're diving deep into the psychology behind it. And trust me, once you understand this, you will never look at these situations the same way again. Let's start with the truth most people never say out loud. Playing the victim is powerful. It gets attention. It gets sympathy. It gets people on your side. It removes accountability. It gives emotional protection without having to show emotional maturity. It's one of the easiest shortcuts in human psychology. Because here's the thing, the victim is always the safest role in the room. People go softer on victims. They question them less. They forgive them more quickly. They see them as fragile, misunderstood, or mistreated. So if someone doesn't want to deal with the consequences of their actions, the victim role becomes the perfect hiding place. Number 1, some people play the victim to avoid responsibility. Taking responsibility requires honesty, it requires reflection, it requires maturity. And for some people, that's too much. It's easier to say, I didn't do anything wrong. You're the one who hurt me. Everyone is against me. Why? Because if they're the victim, they never have to change. Playing the victim protects their ego like a shield made of excuses. Number 2, some people use the victim role to manipulate emotions. Let's be honest, humans are wired to respond to pain. If someone cries, looks hurt, or acts wounded, we instinctively soften. We want to help. We want to comfort. Manipulative people know this, so instead of apologizing for their behavior, they cry about yours. Instead of addressing the issue, they collapse into self-pity. Suddenly, you feel guilty. You feel responsible. You feel like you were too harsh. This is not vulnerability. It's emotional strategy. It's a silent way of saying, don't hold me accountable, feel sorry for me instead. Number 3, some people genuinely believe they're the victim. This is the scariest part. Some people don't pretend. They truly can't see their own role. Why? Because acknowledging their mistakes would shatter the fragile self-image they've built. To protect that image, their mind rewrites the story automatically. I didn't hurt anyone. I was provoked. I didn't betray them. They abandoned me. I'm not controlling. They're just difficult. They're not lying to you. They're lying to themselves first. Their ego becomes both the storyteller and the audience. Number 4, some people use victimhood to control others. Playing the victim gives them influence, power, attention, a moral advantage, and a free pass for bad behavior. Think about it. If someone believes they're always suffering, they feel justified in treating you poorly. If only you understood me. If only you didn't hurt me. If only people were nicer to me. Suddenly, every boundary you set makes you the villain. Every no becomes an attack. Every disagreement becomes emotional abuse. This keeps you walking on eggshells, trying to avoid hurting them even when they're the ones hurting you. But here's the biggest secret no one talks about. People who chronically play the victim don't want resolution. They want reassurance, they want attention, they want control, they want excuses, but they do not want to change. Because if they change, they lose the power their victimhood gives them. So, how do you protect yourself from people who constantly play the victim? You stop engaging with the performance. You stop apologizing for things you didn't do. You stop letting guilt make your decisions. You stick to facts, not their emotions. You recognize the difference between real pain and strategic pain. Most importantly, you stop letting their story become your identity. You can feel empathy without taking responsibility for someone else's manipulation. You can care without being controlled. You can support without being the villain in their script. If this video opened your eyes or made you think of someone in your life, hit like, subscribe, and tell me in the comments. Have you ever dealt with someone who always made themselves the victim? Your story could help someone else realize they're not crazy, they're just being played.